Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
517 days until the 2020 presidential election. Tonight, a new exclusive poll shows how Michigan voters feel about the job President Trump is doing and how they would vote in a head-to-head matchup with some of the top Democrats in the field.
A Metro Detroit substitute teacher escorted out of school today, and it all had to do with the way he allegedly disciplined a group of third graders.
But we're going to begin tonight with breaking news near downtown Ferndale, where a seniors complex has been evacuated after a resident opens fire.
Tim Pamplin is on the scene with a night cam. Tim.
Multiple police agencies now surrounding the Withington West Towers. That's in the area of 9 Mile and Woodward Avenue after I'm being told a man in his 70s fired off several rounds of his handgun tonight, sending residents scrambling.
2 to 3 shots. Pop, pop, pop. But then I heard 2, boom, boom.
That's Jeff. He lives next door to the suspect here. Everybody evacuated a couple of hours ago as SWAT team have set up on the second floor of this apartment complex. Officers from Madison Heights, Pleasant Ridge, Oakland County Sheriffs and Ferndale all on the scene here as residents wait outside. No one's been hit. I'm being told 5 shots fired, no one struck. Ferndale police tell me they believe this man in his 70s is under the influence of a narcotic. So back out here as more SWAT teams arrive. Again, this is Withington Street, 9 Mile and Woodward Avenue area. SWAT teams setting up on this apartment complex, trying to negotiate with this man in his 70s to surrender. We'll stay on the scene, bring you updates. That's the scene in Ferndale with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Okay, Tim. A substitute teacher under investigation tonight accused of hitting several third graders with a ruler. The alleged assault happened at the Washington Parks Academy in Redford Township. Jermont Terry is there live tonight. Jermont, so how did the school react to these allegations?
Kimberly, the school leaders, they removed this teacher immediately from the classroom, and tonight he can no longer work at this school. Now, this comes after several third graders reported to the principal that this substitute teacher got physical with them.
Jeremy Mason and Chloe Davison are just 2 students accusing a substitute teacher at Washington Parks Academy of crossing the line.
I said, why you hit me?
And what did he tell you?
Because he wanted to.
Redford police responded to the charter school on Plymouth after students reported the substitute teacher decided to skip the lesson plan and discipline students.
He hit me with the ruler.
And where did he hit you?
On the side of my head.
The school refused to say exactly how many students were hit, but by the time Jeremy called his mother from the office, it was clear to her this was no mistake.
And there's Jeremy screaming, crying, and I'm like, what is going on? I hear a whole bunch of other kids in the background crying too.
His mom says the principal confirmed Jeremy's story.
Security escorted the substitute teacher from the class.
Not only did the school remove this man from the building, it launched an internal investigation and called police.
And I thought they took that out of the school systems. It's no paddling.
And she's not alone.
I want some charges brought up against him. You don't put your hands on my child.
Chloe's mom says after talking to the principal, she learned this is the second time the school investigated the same substitute teacher for hitting students.
Why would y'all let him back in the school after he already done been accused of it?
These parents are determined to make sure this man isn't allowed in any classroom.
Oh, I'm going to the police station because he needs to be prosecuted.
And those mothers did go down to the police department and file a report with Redford PD. So tonight there are 2 investigations underway, one by the police department and a second one by the school here, which is an internal investigation. There's no indication as to how long either investigation will take. Reporting live in Redford tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
All right, Jermont. Tonight, a new Local 4 Detroit News poll shows President Trump would struggle today to win the state that was so important to his victory in 2016. And according to our pollster, Richard Zuba, the level of voter engagement right now is as strong as he's ever seen it in Michigan. Voters of all stripes are extremely eager to vote, and at the moment, that would not bode well for the incumbent. Were the 2020 election to be held today, a key piece of Donald Trump's 2016 path to victory would seem to be blocked. The president's approval rating among Michiganders remains stubbornly low. Only about 37% of the state's voters have a favorable impression of President Trump, a good bit less than the 54% who view him unfavorably, and that would translate to trouble at the ballot box. More than half of the state's voters say they would vote for someone else. with just 36% saying they would vote for President Trump.
It feels like we're swimming in a pool of cement. They are hardening by the day. We've seen the exact same numbers, it feels like, for the better part of 3 years. And what that says is people have made up their minds.
Much has been made of the huge field of Democratic presidential hopefuls. Right now, several of them appear to be daunting competition for the president. Were the president to face former Vice President Joe Biden, Michigan voters favor Biden right now by 12 percentage points. The same margin favors Senator Bernie Sanders, who of course won the Democratic primary in Michigan the last time around. South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg has a nearly 6-point lead, even though 43% of those polled have never heard of Mayor Pete. Senator Elizabeth Warren enjoys a narrow 4.5% margin over the president, and while Kamala Harris has a 3-point lead over President Trump, we should note that is within the poll's 4% margin of error.
That's a real problem for the Republican Party, is Joe Biden's strength, particularly now with independent voters. Of all the candidates running for president on either side of the aisle, only Joe Biden has a favorable rating amongst independent voters, and by 12 points.
Take the names and faces away, and the president doesn't fare very well, with nearly 44% of voters saying they would vote for a Democratic candidate, nearly 9 points better than those who would say they would vote Republican. The gender and race gaps remain glaring. Men tend to approve of the president's performance, while women disapprove by a wide margin. White voters narrowly approve, black voters strongly disapprove. And again, all of those voters are extremely engaged, much like the 2018 election we saw last year, and quite different from the engagement levels we saw before the presidential election of 2016. We've got so much more on this exclusive poll. Tomorrow morning on Local 4 News Today, we'll look at whether Michigan voters support impeachment hearings of President Trump and whether voters think the president's trade strategy with China is good for Michigan.
Okay, over here with Ben now. A dry start to the week, but you're tracking showers moving in that could disrupt the morning commute here.
Yeah, we'll be wet in the morning, but we're going to save the rough stuff for the drive home, unfortunately. And that's when the severe risk kicks in tomorrow. It's a marginal risk, which is the lowest on the scale. That's the green shade that's here over the southeast portion of the state. Timing it out, yes, we're going to have showers and maybe a rumble of thunder out there in the morning, probably through the midday hours. But once we get past about 2 or 3 o'clock, anything that pops at that point has the potential to not only have some damaging winds and large hail, but maybe some downpours with localized flooding in it. So really all options are on the table as far as severe storms go tomorrow. That front will put everything to an end after the sun sets. But temperatures tomorrow morning surprisingly mild, considering some of us woke up into the 40s this morning. It'll start out in the mid-60s. We'll be at 75 by noon, but it's going to be warm, humid, and stormy at the end of tomorrow. We'll talk more about that severe threat and see what the rest of the week holds in just a few minutes. Guys?
Hey, Ben. Tonight, the Taylor City Council votes to bring in a special counsel to investigate Mayor Rick Sahlers.
Farmington lawyer Edward Plato was appointed as special counsel back in February. The FBI executed search warrants on City Hall and Mayor Sahlers' home as part of an investigation into possible bribery and a kickback scheme. Plato speaking with Local 4 about his new role.
The City Council has decided that it was in their best interest, doing their due diligence to represent the residents of Taylor, to begin this investigation so that I can find out whatever I can find out, report to them, let them know what's going on.
Council says so far it has not received any information from the FBI. Police in Allen Park are investigating after an employee finds a spy camera in the bathroom. Staff at the Starbucks in Allen Park on Outer Drive near the Southfield Freeway found the hidden camera underneath the lid of a toilet seat. Police say the camera had Wi-Fi capabilities, allowing whomever placed it there to watch live. Police don't believe it was there for long, but did have recordings of several people entering the bathroom.
Tonight, former Governor Rick Snyder is responding to the state's Flint water investigation. According to search warrants, Snyder and 65 other current or former officials have had their state-issued mobile devices seized by investigators. Well, tonight, Snyder turned to social media to question why search warrants were needed. His tweet reads, in part, "The stories coming out about my state phone and computer are very sloppy and misleading. I gave my phone and all that stuff to the AG's office before I left office. Why the AG's office is executing a search warrant on itself, I cannot say." In response, a spokeswoman for Attorney General Dana Nessel released a statement. It reads, Mr. Snyder knows darn well why search warrants are being executed. It's the pursuit of justice for the people of Flint, pure and simple. We'll stay tuned.
Yeah, more to come on that for sure. Still to come, a homeowner suffers a gruesome injury that now has him warning others.
The freak accident that almost caused him to lose his finger coming up.
A Michigan police officer hits a man close to 30 times during an arrest. What's now happening to that officer involved? Jason.
Where else would you find employees still at work playing basketball?
Michigan State basketball meets Google and trying to bring it to the mortgage business, and that's really what we're trying to do for our people here. So,
coming up, what this company means to Southeast Michigan and who they're looking to add to the team.